Greetings, loved ones. Okay, guys, so evidently I'm not home. However, that does not mean that I'm not always keeping you guys 100% updated. So, of course, yeah, I am away right now, but don't worry. All it means is simply a different background. And I also wanted to say, make sure you follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is KeithAdam10. Sure, you can follow me on Instagram and Snapchat and all that. However, Twitter is where you definitely need to be following me, because someone actually mentioned this. They said maybe instead of pinning a comment every once in a while, you should give us your Twitter and tweet out small bits of information you get. So that is where I'm going to be giving you small updates when I don't have time to make an entire video. So once again, KeithAdam10, whenever I can, I'm always tweeting out updates. I'm always retweeting important things, so feel free to follow me on there. I'm definitely keeping you updated there. Also, turn on notifications on here so you stay updated. But let's talk about the blank canvas human race, because I'm going to be giving you some quick tips, some tricks on how to get them, and basically just how to have your best chances in general. So I already made a how to cop guide, and I've mentioned some tips in there on like how to get them. I went really in depth onto the Adidas aspect of it. However, some things have changed, guys, and that's why I'm making this video. We got some updates on certain things that have never happened before, so we're gonna be getting into it all. Don't worry, guys, I got you. Before we even start, though, I wanted to show you guys Yeezy.io. Yeezy.io is a site where you can check stock numbers, basically to see how good of a chance you're gonna have to cop a shoe you like. Now, sometimes it's a little delayed. Now, like, you'll see certain stock numbers, and then after a little while, the stock numbers might start increasing a little more. So I went to check on Yeezy.io, and the way you find out what stock numbers are going to be for what shoe, you take the product number and you copy and paste it into there. So as you guys can see, there's 15 pairs per size, except for the 13.5, I believe. So clearly that's really, really terrible. So unfortunately, I don't think our chances are too high as of now. However, usually they do like to update it. Usually Yeezy.io will update it the day before the release. So hopefully we do see that stock numbers do see an increase. So that is just a cool tool that I wanted to mention. Also, guys, the best way to know always is just by going on StockX and checking resale value. By the looks of resale, I honestly don't think they're going to be too limited. I think that the stock will be very reminiscent of the previous trail human races. But you know what? Who cares? Let's get right into every single tip on how to cop these shoes. Let's get into how you can get your pair for retail without a bot, because this is a channel where we cop without a bot, of course. Alright, guys, so the first place we're going to get into on how you can get your shoes is Adidas Confirm. Now, the Adidas Confirmed app is essentially just an app where you try and confirm your pair of shoes, and then you pick them up on the day of the release. Make sure you download the Adidas Confirmed app, make an account, and on the 21st at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, the reservations will end. So if you're watching this video and it's too late, guys, you got to turn on notifications so you stay updated for these things. Now, unfortunately, this will only be in 3 cities. It's going to be in New York City, it's going to be in Chicago, and it will be in LA. So that is going to be it for Adidas Confirm. Now, obviously, if you're willing to make a long drive, you could sign up anywhere you want. There is ways you can spoof your location. I'm not really going to get into that now. There's plenty of videos you can watch for that. Essentially, on Adidas Confirm, they used to do a button where you would just like spam the button. There was even an app where you could practice this, and now the app actually costs $1 because it's a different setup now. Now Adidas Confirmed actually does a CAPTCHA system. So if you go check out the Adidas L app or the Confirmed L app, something like that, it is $1, and I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying, like, if you want some practice, feel free to check them out. You could just practice CAPTCHA all day there. However, my number one tip would be to enable tweet notifications for Yeezy Mafia. Yeezy Mafia always puts out great information, and some of the gems that they do put out are hints on what the CAPTCHA may potentially be. I'd say like 30 seconds before the release or a minute before the release. So always have tweet notifications on for them in case they do decide to do that. So those will be your best chances for Adidas Confirmed. Now understand, of course, not everyone is willing to drive to LA or Chicago or New York. So there's other ways you can cop. The next way I wanted to mention is obviously in-store retailers and other like consortium stores. But then you're wondering, Keith, how in the world am I supposed to figure out which retailers are going to have them? Like, is there a list somewhere? Unfortunately, as of now, there is no direct list. However, the place where I think they're going to have a list, it's not going to be soullinks.com this time. They usually do Jordans and Nikes. Obviously, you could check to be safe, but I would go to justfreshkicks.com. Now, JustFreshKicks.com had all the store list for the yellow human races, so there is a slight chance that they will have the store list for these, and it does apply to every single country that will be getting them. So, unfortunately, they haven't updated it yet. However, maybe the day before the release, they will update it, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Again, JustFreshKicks.com, I believe it is. In addition to that, Solinks on Twitter will tweet out information and restocks and all that stuff on these human races. Now, on their website, they don't cover Adidas for the most part, but on their Twitter, they do, so turn on notifications for them on Twitter. In addition to them, I'm sure Boost Links on Twitter will also put out some information on this. They're always tweeting out about restocks and steals, sales like that. So again, those are the 3 places that I would personally check out for what in-store retailers are going to be doing them, what raffles are going to be getting them, all that good stuff. So be sure to check them out. And now, of course, your number 1 shot. It's going to be adidas.com. So some of the tips that I gave you before, they're still going to be applicable. However, there is a slight chance that some stuff has actually changed. And what I mean by this is that it might actually be a splash page. Not a splash page, but very similar and reminiscent to the splash page of Yeezys, because we've seen that for the 4D shoes, they've been doing this. For the Bape Dame 4s, they just did this. So I'm thinking that they're going to do a waiting room just like that for these. And if they do the waiting room, obviously, you guys know the deal for the waiting room. So if there's a waiting room, you have to use the multiple people jig. I've explained this many, many times, but just to be sure that you understand, let me go through it really, really fast. Go to the top right corner of your screen in Google Chrome. You should see your name if you're signed into Google Chrome. If not, you'll see a little person. Click on that person, go down, you'll see an option that says Manage People, click Add Person, give him whatever type of name you want, I don't care, give him a profile picture, and then you click Save, then on that person, copy and paste a link for the waiting room, and you could do this as many times as your computer could support. Also, someone gave me a great tip. If you scroll up, like you swipe up on your computer, you could actually see every single one without it being too complicated. So that's why this is a fantastic community. We're always giving each other these phenomenal tips. So make sure to subscribe to join this fantastic community. There is also a chance that it could be first come, first serve like it has always been for the human races. So I'm going to be giving you some tips for first come, first serve just in case, guys. You have to be prepared for both. Personally, I would have multiple people set up, but keep your eye on the first one, obviously, the most, because it could definitely be first come, first serve. So I understand a lot of you guys were actually wondering, like, how do we find the human races? Because sometimes if you go to release dates, it'll show up on release dates. Unfortunately, they're not there this time. So all you got to do, though, go to the search bar and type in human race. They will be the second one there, I believe. So go ahead, click on that, and it'll show all the information. It will show that they are coming out at the 23rd at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So unfortunately, of course, with my luck, I'm not going to be able to go for these shoes. I will be on a flight coming back to where I live. Obviously, guys, like I said, I'm away, so I'm taking a hard L on these. I'm not even going to be able to go for them. So if I end up wanting to buy these, I guess I will have to pay resale. So one of the tips I'd like to give you is another tip that someone in our lovely community, make sure to subscribe, has given us, and that was to use Command R to refresh. Obviously, everyone usually refreshes by clicking the little circle thing. Don't do that, guys. Click Command R because that means you can have your mouse right under the timer where the sizes will pop up, and that could save you potentially an entire second to 2 seconds, which could be the difference between copying and not copying, guys. So I would say use Command R, it is on Mac. I think on Windows it might be Control R. If not, you could definitely just Google it. It should be super simple to find. But don't click the little circle to refresh. And you could test this out beforehand, guys. Just Command R, okay, guys? It'll make it super easy. So once you press that, your mouse is already over where all of the sizes are. Click your size and check out. So there's also 2 loops that you may potentially encounter. One of those loops being the CAPTCHA loop, and there is no way to get through the CAPTCHA loop. Once you get the CAPTCHA loop, you're kind of screwed if there is a waiting room, and if it's first come, first serve, all you can really do is refresh and start over, but by then it's too late. However, there is a way to avoid the CAPTCHA 90% of the time. Of course, sometimes you still will get CAPTCHA, but this is exactly how you avoid CAPTCHA most of the time. I personally have never gotten CAPTCHA by doing this. All you got to do is sign into a Google Chrome account on your browser. And now the next loop I want to talk about is one of the most annoying ones when you finished everything, you're checking out, and then you hit complete payment thing, and you get the processing payment loop. All it does, it just goes in a circle all day. So if you get this, you'll see if it's loading for more than, I'd say, a minute. Give it a minute, and if it's still loading, here's what you have to do. And I wish I knew this for the blue tint release, because with the multiple people jig, I got in 11 times. I could have had 11 pairs sent to my house. But unfortunately, I didn't because I kept getting that processing payment loop. Here's how you avoid it, though. If you aren't already signed into an Adidas account, go ahead and sign into an Adidas account and then switch browsers on that other browser, sign into your Adidas account. It will be in your cart and try to check out there. You should not have the processing payment loop here. And of course, guys, one thing that I have noticed is make sure that your name on the card is the actual name it's supposed to be on the card. Because I know some of you guys, you might use your wife's credit card, you might use your son's credit card, you might even use your mom and dad's credit card. Make sure it's not the name that you put for the address. If you put your own name for the address, make sure it's the actual name on the card. So yeah, that's basically how you avoid the processing payment loop and all that. Of course, another huge tip that I would definitely have to give, make sure you set up autofill. That means set up your address in autofill, set up your credit card in autofill, so all you have to type in is your security code. Some of you guys are saying, Keith, why in the world would we have to set up autofill if you have 10 minutes to check out? Well, the answer is simple, cart jacking. Cart jacking is so common, especially on first come first serve releases. Now, on Yeezys, when there's a splash page, it's a little less common. However, it could still happen no matter what. So it doesn't hurt to take 45 seconds out of your day to set up autofill. I mean, it's super easy, guys. It'll save you tons of time. So go ahead and do that. And my last tip is going to be do not use PayPal. Now, some of you guys have no problem using PayPal, and it works completely fine. PayPal is a super easy way to check out. However, if you're using autofill, it's just as fast. However, with PayPal, you get a lot of errors when you go to the PayPal page to sign in, and sometimes you'll get this like weird error that says there's been a problem checking out, and it's just really frustrating because you've made it that far and you just can't check out. So I would say use credit card, but if you have no choice but to use PayPal, here's what you got to do. Open a separate tab and make sure you're already signed into a PayPal. This will make sure that you don't have to, when you click sign in, you'll be signed in. You don't have to go to that separate page. So if you have to use PayPal, do it this way. So that'll conclude it. These are all the tips and tricks that I have for copying. This will ensure that you have the best chance possible copying manually. With that though, I am out of here, guys. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed, if you perhaps learned something. Also, guys, make sure to subscribe to join this awesome community. Turn on notifications so you stay updated 100% of the time. And with that, I'm out of here, guys. Have good luck, please, guys. I wish you all luck. Unfortunately, I can't even go for these, so have a great day.
The F to the double O, even the T. Get that big foot away from me. Get your foot off my foot. Ah.
Get your foot off my foot. Yeah.
Why you hurting me with your foot? Can't you find somewhere else to keep it put? Get your foot off my foot. Ah.
Get your foot off my foot. Yeah.
And mom always told me not to play when another man's foot is in the way. Get your foot off my foot. Ah.
Get your foot off my foot. Yeah.
Your feet are so big.